Thank you, Speaker and the chairperson of this session. PS, on a point of order, and I hear you, that you have released exchequer, you have done exchequer releases for payment of pending bills. And you know the National Treasury is a super ministry. And you're also a super PS to the extent of the powers that you have at the National Treasury. You also know that our laws obligate accounting officers in ministries and MDAs to ensure that pending bills are the first charge to the exchequer. And I think that is where we are going wrong. Because you are releasing money to ministries and MDAs, but because of corrupt practices in those ministries and MDAs, accounting officers are not settling pending bills. And that is the bottom line. And I'll tell you, because I spoke here on Tuesday, and I pleaded with these members to offer meaningful oversight over the executive. Because when you release money, for instance, to pay pending bills, and some of your colleagues then use the money they have to try and extort money from suppliers and hold back on payments, that is where we are going wrong. And you have an opportunity, and I want to challenge you as a PS in charge of the National Treasury, that before further release of expenditure, exchequer to MDAs, you must ensure then that those MDAs first have settled pending bills. I have instances, and you know, yesterday we had a long discussion here that some people want to try and turn political, and I am not interested in politics. What we are interested in is what we said we will offer meaningful oversight. If textbooks were not being paid for because publishers are not being paid, and now we want to extort publishers, and I want you to speak to some of the agencies that are dealing with some of these issues, PS, because there's a lot of extortion rings hanging around ministries with some of your accounting officers, and I think it is only you from the National Treasury who can enforce the law, that you will not release any further exchequer to ministries that are not settling pending bills. And the same with our county governments, because the bulk of pending bills, again, are being held by county governments for the same reasons. Governors and the accounting officers want to withhold money until they are able to extort money from people who have already delivered services, goods and services to the county governments. The National Treasury and the Comptroller of Budget, you have a responsibility to ensure that they all adhere to the law. If pending bills are the first charge to the exchequer, so be it. And it is only you from where you sit and the Cabinet Secretary in the National Treasury, because as I said, you are super CSAs, super PSAs, because of the powers that reside in the National Treasury, to ensure that that is enforced. Otherwise, we will continue with these suckers, Faith Gitawas about the same pending bills, every other member you hear. And it's because many of the people they represent come to them, asking me, oh, help me to get this payment here and there. But these members have no way of getting help. And it's those extortion rings that you must crack and break up, Honorable PS.
Thank you.
Now that I have that opportunity, Chair, if you I could just use that to supplement one question in relation to what Honorable Karoli Omondi was asking. There could have been other alternative proposals or pathways for the partial divestiture of Safaricom, as Honorable Karoli says. And maybe this is an opportunity you would tell Kenya or Kenyans and the world, if there is anybody with an alternative pathway that can deliver a higher value, are you opposed to it or would you welcome it? The same way, if those who are using other market valuations that are not the conventional economic models that we have been shown by our very intelligent chair of finance, and this is actual real intellect now, leave alone the other street intellect that you hear. out there. But even that street intellect, if they have a different model that is not known, that can value the share to the 45 and 50 shillings they are telling us, would you be welcoming it?
Yes, I would want to answer your question that as National Treasury, we would welcome any option that would enable Kenyans to get a better value to what we have managed to get through ceding the 15% to Vodacom. So that I confirm, and we are willing to accept anything better. Now, to answer your question, Majority Leader, I want to say two things. One is that we have a circular to all accounting officers that any pending bills that you did not settle the previous year, they become first charge in the budget that Parliament has approved. And that we expect that, like in the last financial year, we do not expect. May I finish so that I can give the
Let us indulge this, the PS just for a minute, just conclude.
That's number one. Number two is that we have instituted reforms as Treasury to deal with any accounting officer who misapplies funds we have released and then uses it to pay what they did not submit to us as evidence of requiring payment. So we call it twinning. So if you ask for exchequer, you cannot ask for exchequer without showing which items or which contractor. And once we pay, there is no way an accounting officer can pay. If they do that, please give us the evidence and we will take appropriate action. And I think it's not even Treasury who should do it. Because can I proceed, Honorable Speaker? Okay.
Let the PS finish the answers, then we'll take another round. Because I know many are using the points of orders to raise other questions.
So I have indicated about the issue of East African portals that we will give a comprehensive reply to the questions raised. And then, Honorable Salisha, we have taken note of what you have said. I think we have nothing to say as Treasury. All we ask is to say whatever we have presented to Parliament, we are seeking for Parliament to approve. And for the public, where public consultation is going on, we are seeking that the public supports this proposal that we have given. But we will go with what Parliament decides. I think I have finished.
Honorable KK, kindly make your responses, then we will take another round of questions.
Thank you very much, Session Chair. I'll just take a few minutes. So on the issue